You are listening to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station.
Kitty's way over there. Are you on?
Ethan's gonna hook me up.
Ethan is gone, and he needs to hook Kitty up. Welcome. We'll do what we can here. Welcome to another edition of the Succubus Club, your weekly dose of Buffy and Angel news, music, and not spoilers. Kitty's over there, but she can't hear me. You could yell.
I know. Hello.
And I'm Candy, and I'm sitting here. We have a little.
What's going on?
We have a lot going on here. We have
I'm not hooked up.
we have a million people out here, and no riders yet. They're on their way. They are in transit. There you go.
Okay,
there she is. There's Kitty.
Okay.
You have to say hello now.
Hello. Wait. Okay,
say hello to everybody.
Hello.
We have a big show, and as I just mentioned, the writers, 3 writers that we're having on the show tonight, Drew Greenberg, Jane Espenson, and Rebecca Rand Kirshner, they didn't cancel. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
And so far so good. They're just stuck in traffic.
Yeah, they're on their way. They're stuck in traffic. We had some weird weather today here in SoCal, and they're stuck in traffic, so what can you do? But they're on their way. They've called us, and they're very excited.
How far away are they?
I would say maybe about 15 minutes.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
We're sorry. Go watch Angel. No, I was kidding.
Oh. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in this evening. We're very excited about tonight's show.
We are. Oh, should we do the background music, or can we not do the background music?
See,
everything's weird because we have so many microphones set up in here, and we have so many wires. We've realized that we have broken so many codes, and we have so many hazards in this room that it's just dangerous.
Yeah, we could probably die here.
Yeah, I mean, we've sullied the code of KLBC.
We're kind of just out of our minds right now because we're waiting to hear the phone call from Drew as he pulls into the parking lot. And we are staring at 3 empty chairs and 3 microphones and hoping for the best.
But see, Drew Goddard still gets he obviously gets the prize of being on time.
Seriously. Well, in the meantime, though.
Yeah, in the meantime, let me give a shout out to Katie, who's Pink Fish Fly, and she emailed me like a couple weeks back and said that since today was my birthday extravaganza, she wanted to get in on the extravaganza because her birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, she emailed me too.
The 6th. So Pink Fish Fly Katie, happy birthday, and here's to you. Also want to thank Colleen Hillerup, Paul, and HDL for your birthday wishes. Thank you guys so much. And that was such a great email, Paul. He's kind of a new recent listener. Do I sound okay to you? Because I sound like I'm in a fishbowl.
You sound fine.
All right, then that's cool.
Actually,
as long as I sound fine. As long as I sound okay to everybody else. How do I sound, Ethan? Okay,
yeah.
All right, that's cool.
I also want to thank Eileen for the chocolate that she sent in.
Absolutely.
And also Old Man Fan. He sent in some home-baked.
Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's great. Ooh, Ethan. Yeah.
Old Man Fan, who regularly provides.
Oh, Ethan, that's the way. Right.
Our kitty torture has generously baked and sent us homemade chocolate chip cookies.
I know, and I already ate one.
She did.
I tested them.
She did. She was our tester.
I was the tester just in case.
In case it's your first time tuning in and you don't know, this is also, in addition to a very special show with the writers, this is also our annual Kitty's birthday extravaganza.
Ooh, yay!
It is her birthday tomorrow.
It is.
May 8th.
I'm going to be so old.
How old are you going to be?
29.
We're perennially 29.
I decided I'm always going to be 29.
And I was going to go with 24 for myself.
Really? That's good.
Well, once I hit 30 last year, I'm like, I don't want to be 30. I want to be 24.
Okay, I'll tell you my real age real quick, but from now on, I'm going to be 29.
Okay,
I'm 34. All right, there we go. I'm going to be 29.
So we have a very special show with that, too. So we figured while we're waiting for the writers, what we could do is maybe do the birthday. If you listen to us every year, you know that every year we swap presents at Christmas, Hanukkah time, and which is also my birthday time, and also when Kitty has her birthday. So it's time for presents.
Yeah, okay, cool. But I also want to say, last week, if you didn't get to listen, or hopefully by now you have listened to the MP3, when we had Drew Goddard on.
The ultimate Drew.
Oh, my God, the ultimate Drew. He was so awesome. We had such a fun time with him. And he is, for everyone who didn't hear me say it, he is such a hottie.
He's beautiful.
Oh, my God.
And his personality is just on top of that. It's
totally.
What a nice, a genuinely nice guy.
I think I mentioned to some people I emailed him, like, he's very charismatic.
Oh, absolutely. You're drawn to him.
Yeah, you're drawn to him, and he's so nice, you know, and he's such a sweet guy, and he was funny, and we had such a great time, so and thanks again.
We've gotten a bunch of emails about the interview.
Yeah.
And a lot of people seem to enjoy it, so we're really glad about that. We're really happy that a lot of you enjoyed it, and we hope that tonight's is just as good.
Yeah, what we decided to do was submit that interview to KLBC for, DJ of the Month, because apparently we can't be DJs of the Month until we submit a tape. So even though we've done the show live in front of the classes and all these things, formality. So we said, well, we'll just submit that show.
And if you were listening, I don't know, probably a couple months ago when Kitty had a big rampage about not being DJ of the Month, so we finally submitted it, and we're expecting to be April, May, and June DJs of the Month.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, birthday time.
Okay, birthday time. Okay,
first up, we have Ethan's present
to Janice from Ethan.
Do you remember there was a time?
That's my name. Yeah.
There was a time a long time ago. We wouldn't utter your real name.
We didn't utter my real name.
It was a big secret. Shh, secret. And also your last name was a big secret until you started mentioning it every time you talk about class.
Well, I couldn't help it because like when you talk about your students complaining, you always have to go, Miss Pope. You always have to start with that.
Yeah.
So okay, this is from Ethan. I know what it is.
He already knows what it is.
Yay! It's kind of. It's the new nickname.
Are you on? Ethan.
Hello.
What?
What is it?
Did you do that?
It's signed? It's autographed?
Wait, did you do that, Ethan?
Wait, did you sign it? Nick, it's a sign.
How did you get that?
Where was he?
Ethan's
it's important that mic is working.
There it goes.
Okay.
How did you get that sign? Wait, I think Ethan did it. I think Ethan took his pen and wrote Nick Cave. He's giving me a dirty look. How'd you get it signed?
I can't sign it.
Oh, so the new Nick Cave CD, which I've been wanting and I've been kind of putting off buying. And then so Ethan got me it, and it's signed. Oh, my God. And it's touching his nose, too. Oh, my God, that is so cool, Ethan. Big hugs.
Dude, that's better than my gift.
It's better than all your gifts. Just forget it. You might as well just go home now. I'm going home. See you later. Okay, how much for me to make it into the trash?
5 cents.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ethan. When I get up, because it's kind of hard to get out of here, I will give you a big hug.
For those of you just tuning in, this is the Succubus Club. We're simply waiting for the writers to arrive.
Yeah, they got a late start. No, they're sitting in traffic, and it's just the way it is.
They should be here soon.
Okay, here's my card. The smart woman knows her way around a kitchen. Has like a 50s woman holding a cake. Around the kitchen, out the door, down the road, into a good restaurant. Absolutely. Happy birthday. Okay, I'm going to read this. Candy, you occupy listeners.
She's reading the card right now, my personal message to her, which is really sappy and full of I love you dearly type of stuff.
Exactly, but the intro, P.S. Succubus Club rule.
That's what I wrote.
That's so cool.
It's so true.
It is so true.
And now she's opening the gift, which I already told her is a book, because she likes to read for some reason.
Yeah, I like that kind of thing.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Call me crazy.
You've probably never read it. It's by nobody. I just like the title.
Oh, cool. It's called Wacky Chicks by Simon Doonan. Life lessons from fearlessly inappropriate and fabulously eccentric women.
I just thought it'd be a neat read.
Oh, my God, neat. Oh, and look, there's a bookmark in it.
I don't know. It is cool.
Oh, fun. No, I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I thumbed through it. It looked kind of interesting. So if you like it, you can put it on your Kitty Book Club recommendations. Okay.
I'm trying to think, like, who I'm looking at the people.
We also have cupcakes, and you know what comes with the cupcakes are little party favors. So be careful with that when we open those.
Yes.
We also have Rolos
for
the guests.
Yes.
Bottles of water for the guests.
Yes.
And Kitty,
as promised,
Kitty made 2.
Oh, that was way off.
Count them 2. Pumpkin pies.
Yes, I did, because that's what Drew said that they all wanted.
She made them from scratch.
I did.
Scratch in a can.
Well, but you can't get pumpkin this time of year. But you notice I brought Halloween plates.
You did. You are right on top of things.
So anyway, like we said, the writers are going to get here. They are coming. It's not like we're lying and they've, they're coming. They're on
well, like in times past when they've called that day and said, "Oh, we can't make it."
Right, exactly, and that's happened.
Screw you, writers.
But they're totally on their way, and hopefully they brought presents to, sort of,
I asked him. I did.
You did?
I'm like, Drew, if you have any stuff laying around in the Buffy offices, or your house or whatever,
or your house
that you want to,
or the set,
get off your hands. We'd be more than happy to help you with that. We're all about the helping. He didn't reply. And I said, no, really, we would love to have some stuff to give away to our listeners. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I love my presents. Thank you all. And again, thanks to everyone who sent me emails. It's really cool. And coming up on the show, as far as music goes, we've got Biff Naked. We've got something from Once More with Feeling. We've got Hepburn, The Sundays, and straight from last night's episode, Touched, by soon-to-be good friend of the program, Rebecca Rand Kirshner. The song, either It's Only Love or Only Love, whatever it's called, we got it.
I want to thank Wendy.
We're going to be playing that. Thanks, Wendy.
I want to thank Wendy for emailing me yesterday morning or whenever it was and letting me know that was the song that was going to be in the episode. I was able to download it, even on my stupid dial-up computer.
Cool.
And burn it before I left to come here.
Cool. I also want to say welcome home to Flipley, who's back safe and sound from Europe. And he's also called us just to make sure everything was cool down here.
I'm assuming everything's going okay because we haven't gotten any phone calls.
Yes, and big shout out to everyone else.
Yeah.
Because I love you.
What we could do, I suppose, is start talking about last night's episode.
Yeah.
Actually, what we could do is talk about next week. Our Succubus Club next week.
We have another big show next week. And
Jeebus criminy, these people just come out of the woodwork at the end of the year.
I'm just scared.
Okay, here's the situation.
This is the best.
We mentioned last week during the show that in the middle of the show, David Fury emailed us and said, "Hey, I want to come back down." We're like,
all right.
I don't think so, David. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you've been here once. That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough.
You've already sang for us, so what's the point?
What else is there? So we corresponded a couple times, and I mentioned May 14th because that's our Angel wrap-up, because tonight is the Angel season finale. Some people are watching it right now.
Home.
Phone home.
Go home.
And so I mentioned that to him, and he said that sounded swell. I think he actually said swell.
Yes, he said swell.
I think
that sounds like something David Fury might say.
And he mentioned, and I don't want to get people's hopes up. I just want to mention that he said that he will try to bring.
I think he used the word drag.
Drag down.
Yes.
I will try to drag Tim Minear down with me.
Yes.
He says, because I always drag him down. Get him?
Right.
Get it? Ha-ha.
Get it? Ha, yeah. Funny.
Yeah. It was a funny joke. And so that's the situation. David Fury is more or less confirmed for next week.
Yes.
Here on the Succubus Club.
Yes, to discuss
Angel. And maybe, if we're lucky, Tim Minear will come with him.
Absolutely.
But
it'd be cool.
If not,
it'd be scary.
It's going to be just David Fury.
Yes.
So either way, we're winning.
Maybe we'll bring his daughter this time.
Since we're not scary now.
Yeah.
So that's the situation for next week.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in then.
Yeah, and I just can't even say that. There's just so much going on.
So that's next week, and we're still waiting for the writers tonight to show up. We'll discuss that at the break. Let's really briefly start talking about last night's episode.
And should I start off by saying that for episode 20, damn, that was good.
It really was. It was a hell of an episode.
Because I remember in the past, was it last year that I said I was disappointed with episode 20.
Season 5.
Was it season 5?
Season 5 had The Weight of the World.
I was disappointed with episode 20.
And I think a lot of people were. And I think Jane actually said that they had to shovel.
They did.
They wanted to put more into 21.
Yeah.
Or I think that was episode 21.
Yeah, because I remember even telling Jane I was a little disappointed with episode 20 in season 5.
It's 21, actually.
No, it was 20.
20 was Spiral. And you love Spiral.
I did. Okay.
Yeah. 21 was Weight of the World.
Okay, maybe that was it. Okay, maybe that was it. But let me just say, Touched was phenomenal.
It was almost, in a way, it was the episode I've been waiting for.
Yes, and I wrote that, and I said, God, I love this episode, but do I love it because I've been waiting for it?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, is that okay? Okay, because I was all, because I was thinking, Here, I think I wrote this. I wrote, did I love it because it validated me and said everything I've been thinking?
Well, there's that. There's obviously that. And I think anybody who feels that way is going to love the episode. And that's fine. But I think also...
But I think I would have loved it anyway.
I think so, too. I think it was a quality episode. It actually was. It had a little bit of everything. And it had, like you said, answers to questions. You know, there was movement in the plot, you know, and we were...
A lot of movement.
Well, the last 5 episodes of the season...
a lot of movement.
On each other. The last 5 episode arc, you know, this whole last arc has kind of put things into high gear, you know. It's really kicked things forward. But this was really... Finally, we...
No, I just realized I forgot to say thank you for sending a birthday wish. Ellen.
Oh, yes, Ellen.
Ellen in Egypt. Thanks, Ellen.
Yeah, your email was awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
But we finally have something where we know how to defeat the big bad this year. Whereas all this season, it's been, how do they beat it? It just seems so huge.
Even I was getting nervous.
That's how it was. It was insurmountable, and that's how Buffy was feeling. That's how they all were feeling. That it's just something that they can't defeat. Right. And finally, we find that there is a way, which I'm very glad to see. Yeah. Your phone. Okay. I think that's the writers, which means. Hello. Should I turn this off?
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm going to come outside.
Oh, they're here.
They're here.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go into our first song, and when we come back, the writers will be here, and we will continue to discuss last night's episode of Touch. So stick around. I think our first song, and I'm not good at this. This is what Kitty does. I've never been good at this part. This is Biff Naked and Lucky.
I know
Oh, am I on? Welcome back to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. It was Biff Naked doing Lucky. And can I just tell you how many people this song goes out to? Okay, first of all, it's from Harsh Light of Day, 4.3. It goes out to Heather Driver. It also goes out to Triana, who says, to all the lucky ones who one's going to the PvP, or at least got to go to the PvP, to all the friends I'll be meeting there and all the friends I hope to make. See you soon. Obviously, that's all. But, you know,
from 3 months ago.
Well, we got to catch up with the music. Let's see. I know I got more. Want to get everybody?
We're actually doing this 3 months ago.
Yeah, I think so. Wait. Where is it? Wait. There. It's coming. It's there. Okay, here we go. Also goes out to Moonstar. And I think that's it. I'll double check, but... and Claire Beatty. There you go, you guys. Biff Naked Lucky. And finally, can we just say, we've got... Oh, my God. We've just got... This room is insane. Okay.
And they're all eating right now.
They're starving. They're braving the 405.
Yes. Welcome to the show. We have with us, back to the program for the third time, Drew Greenberg.
Yeah. Stop. Okay, keep going. All right, stop.
Make sure you talk into that, because when you can pull it forward. And back to the program for the fourth time.
My goodness. I'm so fancy.
For the fourth time, Jane Espenson.
Yay!
And welcome to the studio for the very first time, Rebecca Rand Kirshner.
I'm a virgin. I mean, really. Don't tell my husband.
You got some cookie there in your throat, too? Yeah, just a little cookie. All right. So, and for those of you, all of you should know, Rebecca wrote last night's episode, Touched. Oh, fantastic.
Thank you. You have to talk into the microphone, Drew.
That's for Rebecca.
I was private.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
And it's funny because last week when Drew Goddard was in here and we were ranting about empty places, and we were like, oh my God, and he was just kind of smiling, going, well, you'll see what happens. And oh, did we see?
Which was Drew Greenberg's episode last week.
Yeah. Oh. God. And then yours is coming next week with End of Days.
Yep.
Is it a co-write? It's a co-write.
Co-written with Mr. Doug Petrie.
Wow. We just have a lot of writers in
Yes, we do.
Okay.
A gaggle, if you will. A murder.
An exposition.
It's called a murder.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody.
Yes.
I'm really glad you were all able to make it. We actually were starting to discuss last night's episode before you got here. So, do we want to continue talking about that, or do we want to do other stuff first?
I want to hear about that.
Well, what we were hoping is we could all just kind of sit around and talk about Buffy.
Now, you all watched the episode last night?
I have T-voted. I have not yet watched it, but I read it when she wrote it.
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah.
You guys didn't watch it. I watched it.
I watched it.
I did. I watched it. Ask me anything.
What was the second act break?
Oh, God, not that. I didn't say I watched the whole thing.
I'm not sure. I know.
Well, let's start by just giving you props and saying how much we loved it.
Yes, it was a great episode.
I'm so glad. I was proud of it. I'm glad.
I have awesome. See, awesome and love. Awesome and love are right there. So, and we just thought it was amazing. And I said, one of the things I was saying about it, how funny it is I was like, did I love it so much because it said everything I wanted to know and say myself? That everything I was thinking from Empty Places, that I was just so angry, and now I feel like validated, and I'm so happy. So,
what's an example of that? What made you angry in Empty Places that got paid off?
Oh, well.
I guess it might have been. I guess Spike finally got to say everything I've been wanting to say. And I think he actually used the word ingrates. Did he actually use the word? Because that's what I wrote.
Last week, we got on the show, and her first words were ingrates.
That's like, I got one word, and it's ingrate. Okay, that's all I have to say. And it's like, she died for them and everything, and that's what Spike said. I was like, yes. My husband and I were watching. I'm like, yes. I'm like, I can't believe my VCR doesn't work. I can't tape it.
But did you also understand sort of the where they were with her walking in and saying we're going in, and they'd already had all these losses? I mean, did the other side of the argument seem to have merit?
It did. It absolutely did, because I understood that they're scared. I understood that they're just like, whoa, we just got a bunch of people just died. Xander's hurt. Maybe we shouldn't do this. And my whole thing was that Buffy just needed some sleep. I think she just needs a little bit of rest.
Yeah.
Because once she did, she was Supergirl again. But she just
her 8 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so and even though I understood where they were coming from, and I wasn't angry at them for that, but I guess I just wanted them to go, Buffy, maybe you just need to take a break and let us kind of do some things, but not kick her out and not act like she doesn't know what she's talking about.
It was an extreme to me, you know.
Yeah.
What we were trying to go for, I think, well, first of all, the thing that we were trying to get to, thanks, was,
I know, I'm like, whoa.
I'm actually underwater.
Yeah, fishbowl.
I've been heartened to see that a lot of people have chosen either one side or the other, but I've not really seen one side outweighing the other in terms of number of people falling on either side. It's been the kind of thing where we set out specifically to create a debate, and I think that's what we did, and that makes me happy.
The moment that was supposed to sell her actually leaving the house was her saying, if I'm not going to be the leader, I can't be here to watch there be somebody else being the leader because I think you're making a mistake. And I'm not sure if in the editing if that got hit enough.
I think I agree with you. I'm not sure that it was necessarily in there. I think that certainly was what we were going for.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening for it and I heard it, but I remember thinking, gee, I hope America got that, because that was the reasoning that got her out the door.
Yeah, it was supposed to be sort of her. It's not just her being kicked out; it's also her walking out. It was a little bit of a combo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been hard for her to see someone else in charge while she just sits back.
Right.
I mean, that would. I was going, how's she going to do that?
I think you're right in that a lot of it didn't come across in editing, in that it seemed like it was a lot against her, and then it was just her one line, like you mentioned, but it was a big line, and I didn't ignore it, but I was just so upset that not so much that the other little Slayers or that even Wood or Faith kind of supported this, but that her friends, that Willow and Xander and Dawn and Giles were okay with this, and that actually Dawn's the one that says, you need to leave. That hurt. I mean, I think it was more of it was just a painful thing to see, and it's something I never thought I'd see. And so that's where my anger came from. It wasn't so much that I thought she wasn't, that she was being treated unfairly, although I do think she was. For me, but it wasn't just that, is what I'm saying.
I mean, for me, it's like I totally chose my side, even though I would never choose my side over the show, because I love the show no matter what, and I don't care. I would still be like. I mean, my husband and I are talking about this all the time, that how many shows can you not wait for it to end because you want to know what's going to happen, yet you don't want it to end, because once it ends, and we know it's over and I'm going to cry. So we're like, no, but yes. And even though I chose my side, I was very upset at all of them for doing this to her. I was still like, but it's so exciting. It's so great, and this is just amazing. And I'm angry at all of them, and I hope they die, but I don't hope they die because I don't want them to die, but I'm mad, It was just so much going on, but that's just how awesome the show is. I just don't even know what to say. But,
I think it's a testament that at the end of one episode you can be so angry, and then at the end of the next one you can feel so invigorated and so happy.
At the end of a bad one you feel bad, and a good one you feel good. Is that right, true?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's not going to go just...
I just think it's a testament to the show, I think.
It makes you feel all sorts of things.
Who's the virgin?
I am.
So, Rebecca, how was it for you writing this episode? I mean, coming off the heels of this, of Empty Places.
I think Empty Places was actually one that we didn't know who was going to write. So when I watched, do you remember this now?
That's right.
When I watched Empty Places, I was like, wait, I know all this so even more deeply than I know other episodes, because we didn't know who was going to write it. So while we were which is pretty unusual. So while we were breaking the story, I was thinking of that as my story, which I think actually helped in terms of writing the next one, because instead of looking at it as sort of a separate thing, I had really fought through the Empty Places one, and then Empty Places or Spaces?
Places. And let's put that in for the record, by the way. Places.
Go back and forth.
No. There was some early confusion about the name of the episode.
Yes,
there was actually an incorrect title page printed.
So a humongous scandal around the office.
Yeah, but that incorrect title page never made it out into the world. We were the only ones who ever saw it. It was stopped very quickly. It was the world who changed it to Spaces and did it incorrectly. And let's just say right now, bad world. I'm pissed at the world anyway.
But yeah, so I think that helped in terms of making it sort of a smoother, as you were saying, like this got to be, I got to have the opportunity to say all the things that were sort of set up in the previous episode, and it was one that I really enjoyed. And also, I really liked having Spike, from the minute I knew it was the episode where Spike and Buffy just held each other, I started trying to finagle to get it, because I just thought that was really how I thought of them, and that's what I've wanted since I was a fan of the show. And well, no, when I was a fan of the show, they weren't together. But since I was a writer/fan, since I was,
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I remember when I was watching it, all of them are having sex except Buffy and Spike, and I was like,
ironic.
And I thought that was so beautiful, though, because it's like the real love between them of two people just saying, we just want to hold each other and be together and just kind of try to comfort each other, versus everyone, which is not, hey, apocalypse sex, that's fine. I'm all for apocalypse sex. I'm all for it. However, I just thought it was beautiful to have them sort of share that moment.
Because this is what their relationship never had, that they both secretly wanted it to have, but could never get there. Right. And this was them finally getting there. And it was for other characters, it wouldn't have had the same impact. Right. Yeah. For them, this is what was always missing.
They had to have Apocalypse holding each other.
Yeah. Right. Because they've already had Apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, I'm for maintaining one's virginity throughout Apocalypse.
All right.
There's that cookie again stuck in my throat.
Oh my
God. What I loved was what she said during that scene, which was a lot of what I think a lot of the fans have been saying all this time, or at least observing, which was that she pushes herself away. And we noticed this especially in your episode, Drew, how, and that's one way I was able to validate what she was doing, which was, it was so obvious from the very beginning of your episode with Xander and Willow in that scene.
Oh, God. I don't know. I just want to make sure Drew doesn't wreck the equipment or anything.
Or get electrocuted. You really were concerned for my safety, right?
Rebecca is adjusting wires here in the studio.
I'm very good at technical things. Good at my fingers.
Cool, we may need your help later. I'm like, hey.
That's less true than the virginity scene.
But what she was doing with pushing people away, it was I was able to sympathize more with her during the mutiny scene, because I just knew what she was doing, and it was really obvious to me. But what even Drew Goddard said was that we have to be careful how we view these characters, and that how we're seeing them is different than how the other characters are seeing her. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Right.
So it was really easy for me to see that, and I was really glad to see her face that in this episode, in last night's episode.
And I was really glad that she mentioned that I didn't want to get close to the girls, and that's what we talked about. We said, she doesn't want to get close to the girls because they're just going to die. She has such a hard time dealing with when her friends get hurt. So I'm like, this is exactly why she's not being all palsy with these girls. Yeah. And she said it, and I was really glad to thank you. I was really glad that she said it. Again, I was validated. Or at least that I was like, good, this is what I'm thinking. Because usually I'm always off. Which is cool because I never guess. I'm like, well, no, it's so different from what I thought. But this time, I think for the first time, it was like, I'm so glad because it was everything I was hoping for.
Right. I think it was also interesting. Was it Conversations with Dead People where she talked with Holden?
Yeah.
It was sort of a evolution of those thoughts, which from the minute I, read that, I was waiting to see where that would go, or that was something we were constantly talking about.
Because the three of us talked a lot about paying off that, because we felt that was such a core revelation for Buffy. The I feel better than everybody and I feel bad about myself because of it is such a remarkable feeling to have, so well articulated, and it's something that so begs resolution, because Buffy cannot, to end her reign as a Slayer, or to end this series as a Slayer and not have resolved that, I think she's going to feel it's going to feel unfinished.
Yeah.
It was something that was very important to us, and it was sort of heartening to see it show up, I think throughout the season, when it, particularly in Get It Done, that actual on the surface debate about, leaving Buffy where she was in the other dimension, and that addressing that point of she really thinks she's better than we are, sort of on some level, and it sort of was percolating up until that we've been waiting for this point to come. We have, in the room, we've been waiting for this point to come where it's discussed, and that's as in they discussed it.
Right. Not like contempt and
a little bit of that, but not really.
Is there outer space music going on underneath?
Well, actually, it's actually from the Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula.
Oh.
So it's our background music, but it is kind of
It's tinkly.
Yes, it is tinkly.
It sounds. Oh, Jane.
It's distinctly.
But it is from Dracula, so it's kind of fitting, you know. It's our nice loop.
I don't mean tinkling. I mean, it sounds like urination.
It's space sounding. It's a little space sounding, I would say.
You make Candy blush.
We don't talk about urination very much here.
Oh,
That's I bring it.
Difference number one between the Succubus Club and the Buffy Writers Room.
Buffy Writers Room.
We don't just talk about
We don't just
urination.
talk about urination.
Oh,
Some
okay.
people do it.
In the Buffy Writers Room?
It has been done.
Whoa. I think that's an exclusive. Okay, we want to hear some of this.
It is. Oh, we never broke the story. It's true.
No, we never
This
did.
could be an opportunity. Oh, this is big. I don't know.
We don't have to. We could just
I
let it
don't
go
mind.
like that.
I don't mind. I think it's funny, but
We've never broken the pact. I don't know if we want to do it.
It's up to Rebecca.
I'm willing to break it, but do I have to tell it? I think you can tell it.
Well, I think I could set it up by saying that in David Fury's office, he always maintained a very large jar of pretzels, which everyone was allowed to eat from, a large communal pretzel jar.
Oh, my God.
One day the pretzel jar was almost empty.
Okay, Drew is like, took off his headphones and is putting his head back.
We've never told David Fury this story ever, and I'm picturing this is
he's going to find out.
on
The internet or something. This is terrific. He basically, it was down. It was called a pretzel keg.
By the way, this was like my 5th day of work.
And David Fury was not there. We were using his office in his absence.
And I think somebody might have. Did I suggest this, or did someone suggest it to
I can't remember even how it began.
Something happened, but basically I said that I would urinate into the pretzel keg in that very room.
At that very time, not like tomorrow I'll arrange to wear a skirt or
No,
something.
right now. I was wearing a skirt.
She was wearing a skirt.
On demand for $100. And so I went behind Fury's desk and peed into the pretzel keg, and then I disposed of it, and we've never told Fury, and he would go crazy.
Where's my pretzel keg?
The pretzel keg just got thrown out.
It just disappeared from the room.
He used to buy them at Costco or something and be like, oh, I got to get another pretzel keg.
Well, it would be worse if you left it on the desk.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, no. It wasn't anything against him. It was just an opportunity to make $100. But I don't think...
We were very impressed.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's something you're not going to get in the press release, for sure.
I just have to applaud her for that.
I completely forgot about that. This is a great time to break the news.
Because, last week David Fury was listening.
Oh,
I think so. Who knows? He might be listening tonight.
And he'll be here next week.
You have great.
He won't believe it. He'll think you guys made it up. He'll think that Rebecca made it up.
I don't think he'll think we did.
Oh my God.
That was terrific.
This is great. We get great behind the scenes writers stories.
Yeah, great and otherwise.
It's impressive.
It's interesting. We're going to take a break right now. And she's like, oh, good.
Is this
Do you guys have any vessels for your... Oh.
We have a jar in the other room.
How about that Jamba Juice container?
Hey, that has holes. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to discuss more about this entire season and what it's been like for these writers, and
maybe they'll tell some more secret stories.
And also, about the whole run of Buffy, the whole series.
Yeah, how you guys feel that? Oh, I can't say.
I know. I'm in denial.
I'm book club. All right.
Cool.
All right. So, all right, here we go.
Playing?
This is from Once More with Feeling.
Right, I got that. Which song is it?
It's the I've Got a Theory.
Okay, I got it. Cool.
Okay. So that's what it is. Once More with Feeling. I've got a theory at all.
I've got a theory that it's a demon, a dancing demon. Something isn't right there.
I've got a theory, some kid is dreaming, and we're all stuck inside his wacky Broadway nightmare.
I've got a theory, we should work this out. It's getting eerie, what's this cheery singing all about? It could be witches, some evil witches, which is ridiculous, because witches, they were persecuted, wicked, good, and love the earth and women power, and I'll be over here.
I've got a theory, it could be bunnies. I've got a bunny on the cute like everybody poses. They got them hopping legs and chills, little noses, and white with all the carrots. What do they need such good eyesight for anyway? Bunnies, that must be funny. Or maybe midgets. I've got a theory, we should work this out.
Because it clearly could get serious before it's past.
I've got a theory, doesn't matter. What can't we face if we're together? What's in this place if we can't weather? Apocalypse, revolving this, the same old tricks. Why should we care? What can we do if we get in it? We'll work it through within minutes. We have to try. We'll pay the price. It's do or die. Hey, I died twice. What can we face if we're together? What's in this place that we can weather? There's nothing we can't face except for bunnies.
I mean, how can I be asked not to sing along?
Oh, very easily.
It's just, but it's so hard. That was from Once More. Once More. That was for Chen. Listener Chen, we love Chen.
In Brazil.
In Brazil. Chen listens in Brazil.
Wow.
That was for Chen. It's from Once More Feeling. I've got a theory, bunnies, if we're together. And her dedication is
I've got bunnies if we're together.
We've got bunnies here on campus.
Yeah, they do.
And her dedication, is to all of us fans out there who are biting their nails, trying to figure out how Buffy will end.
We're unspoiled, by the way.
Good.
Which is
Great.
hard.
Yeah, you're angling for that Goddard kiss, aren't you?
Well, who
Aren't we all?
I'm serious. We are totally unspoiled, and Candy told me one thing that she found out, and I was like, no, tell me. Okay, tell me. And then she told me, yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
What? Oh, no, I don't know. Don't think.
So I'm like, not like
I'm
you
like,
guys.
what are you talking about?
I'm like, they already know. I'm like, oh, okay. Not the right thing. And I go, you gotta tell me. She goes, okay, I'll tell you one little thing from it. I go, okay, tell me. I'm like, oh, okay. Who is it? And she's like,
oh, that.
I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I go, good, don't tell me.
Unfortunately.
So I forced her not to tell me any more.
I have no
About
idea.
any-
what
we
you
don't
guys
know
are
what kind of
talking about.
language you're talking about.
Cool. Okay, then cool. Maybe it's just
Which, you know, I'm hoping I read wrong, is what I'm saying. You know?
Oh, you're speculating about who dies, if anyone,
That's what I'm saying.
or if anyone lives.
I accidentally read something,
If
so I have
anyone
no
lives.
idea who said it or what. I'm
Okay.
just, and I don't really want to know what
There was a whole fake pilot written and shot. So I
Really?
mean, not pilot.
And
concluding
finale?
episode.
Yeah.
That's what we like. I love it. I love
Right
when you guys
on.
are tricky like that. It helps
Please
us.
be tricky. I know Jane wants whipped cream.
Yes, please.
Yes, lots of whipped cream.
We're giving up the pie at this
I know,
point.
and we are so. And again, wait, and there's
This is like the
napkins
Howard
too.
Stern show.
There's
Whipped
napkins
cream
too.
and-
Ethan. And we are. So I told them when you were out. If you don't like it, I won't feel offended.
I can't imagine I'm not going to like it.
But
It's
what if
pumpkin pie.
What if it sucked? I mean, I made it.
It's fantastic.
Is it? Oh, good.
It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
There's no pressure. It's not like anyone's, gonna know what you said. Yeah. Oh.
I'm like,
No, it's really, really good.
Okay.
Okay. We're back, and we are with, and we didn't really introduce them again.
Yeah.
Drew Greenberg, Rebecca Kirshner, and Jane
Yay.
Espenson. Jane's eating right now, so.
But I can talk and
See, I promised that if they would come on, I'd make them pie.
It was our way of getting people to come in the
Yes,
show.
and
totally worked.
and Drew said we want pumpkin.
Oh, do you? I
thank
love
you,
pumpkin.
Drew.
I'm
Yes,
glad
Because I
you
know
guys
that.
there may have been some pumpkin pie
Oh,
incidents
yeah.
in our
This
the three of
year,
us.
that's
We may have had.
We had some cravings
history.
and, racing out and eating whole pies and episodes like that.
Let me get the cookies out of
I
Jane's
completely
way.
forgot.
Yeah, no, I knew of.
But we can still keep the cookies around.
Okay.
Well, I just want to make sure that everyone has what they want.
Okay.
Like I said, we are violating all kinds of codes in here.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's a special show.
It's special.
Okay.
This is fun.
Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Yes, all right. Okay. No? No? Yes?
Yes. Do it now.
Yes, I'll have pie. No whipped cream. Thank you.
Okay, gotcha.
I want pie. Is it good?
Oh, it is really,
really
good.
Yay.
Okay.
This is good radio, isn't it?
Pie.
It's the listening to people eat pie hour.
Hey, it's all about the pie on the Succubus Club.
I like that show.
It's a good show.
You're easily pleased.
Okay.
Rebecca Rand Kirshner is enjoying her pie. We just call her Becky Kirshner around the office.
We don't. We call you RRK for short. RRK.
Actually,
or Rick.
If I'm correct, I think on our mailing list today, somebody asked, do we call you Randy now because of the episode last night?
Oh, I love it. Hysterical.
Wait, Randy?
Yeah.
Because you're Randy.
Right.
Okay.
Get it?
And it's Randy.
Like when he said, I'm Randy Giles, how can I be more? Why don't you just call me badly needed a shag Giles? Okay. Just check.
I don't want any right now.
It's
no offense.
delicious, by the way.
Oh, good.
I
Really
figure
good.
somebody has to have their mouths clear of food.
Well, there's two of them. So whatever we don't finish, you guys get to take and eat in the car on the way home.
Oh, we will take it.
Yeah, we might do that.
What might? We're taking it.
Pretty good.
Shut up, Greenberg.
Oh, he's pretty good.
All right. Are we done with the pie now?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Can we move on? Jane and I will talk. Everybody else eat.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this season in general. Coming off of last season, which was either loved it or you hated it, I guess, is what happened with a lot of fans. It was obviously much darker than people are used to, and we discussed this when you came in last year.
Yeah.
Coming off of that season and into this one, the first meetings of the season, what were they like? How much did you know? Without giving away the ending, obviously.
We
talk about
generally know remarkably lots about each season, a lot more than they seem to on other shows.
Yeah.
We generally know the whole emotional arc, at least of our main characters. The specifics of episode by episode, and sometimes even the villain and how the villain works remains flexible. But sort of Buffy's direction is always spelled out, and our agenda at the very beginning of this year, sort of overall, was to return to high school, was to return to the feeling of the early episodes, and we did accomplish the Letterman Jacket episode and the Help episode that Rebecca wrote. Both these guys wrote episodes that had that first season feel to them.
Absolutely.
But of course, our characters have been through so much and have suffered such losses that you couldn't maintain that sort of that lighthearted, it's all a big fun metaphor for much of the year.
Right.
But we came into it with that as our main agenda of getting off on a lighter foot and telling some of those old stories and getting into the world of high school again, because the high school as hell metaphor is the strongest that the series ever had.
Yeah.
And at what point did you all know that this was the last, that this was it? And how did things change in the room for you guys? I mean, with
I think we came in knowing that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We always knew it was a strong possibility, and I think we all sort of thought we acted on the idea that it was. So sort of from the beginning, that was the idea. And then there was some talk in the middle, maybe it's not, but
yeah, I think, and there was a point then obviously where it became official that it clearly was the end, but I think we were all surprised to even learn that it had been theoretical from the beginning. We all came into this year just taking it absolutely for granted that this was the end. We knew that both Sarah and Joss had expressed their definite desire to move on. So we
and it seemed like, I mean, it seemed like the right time, not to stop writing the show, but for the characters to fly off into the imagination land.
And shows have a lifespan. And you don't want to go beyond it. I've heard people say, name the number of shows. How many shows can you name where you say it would have been better if they'd done 2 more years? There aren't a lot.
No.
There's a lot where it would have been better if they'd done 2 fewer.
Only if they've been canceled in the middle of the first or second season.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's true. If it's the Associates, the Prophet. You can't name. But
Prophet.
But if they've gone a couple years, generally, and they would not benefit from 5 more.
It's like, I'm glad Buffy's going on top, and but it's so hard for us, even though I totally understand that, we knew it does have a lifespan, but it's so hard for us, the fans, who just love the show, and I know I'm going to feel there's going to be a big loss. Yeah, I know you guys are probably going to feel the same way because this has been like a family, and it's going to be a big loss.
It feels different for us because we lose it out of our personal lives and not our entertainment lives.
Yeah. But also I think that one thing that we have that, we probably take for granted at a certain level is that we have control over that. Like, I'm thinking about you guys, it must feel as if something's taken away, which is really hard.
It does.
To you, to sort of turn things around, what do you think all the Buffy fans will do?
With the Tuesday nights?
Well, no. I mean,
I think Jane has a suggestion.
do you think
the fantastic Gilmore Girls show is available on Tuesday.
Yes. I can finally start watching that again.
And the fantastic Smallville show is on Tuesdays, is it not?
Oh, is there some reason why,
No.
reason why we should be watching Smallville?
Not yet, there's not.
Oh, really? There's not?
Well, there are unofficial reasons why one would enjoy Smallville.
They both are kind of red.
It's official.
I feel very pale. But no, but I want to follow up a tiny follow up. I'm taking control. Go ahead. There's been a coup. Wait, no, but I want to know, do you think that the sort of community of Buffy fans will stick together, or do you think that
It's a tough call because over the 7 years, the community is an interesting one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there are families, there are online families where people have made some amazing friends, ourselves included, through this show and because of Buffy. At the same time, I think probably a lot of them will move on and find other shows. Yeah. You know, and that's how it works with fandoms. You love something for a certain amount of time and you move on. Yeah. But I think there have been some definite lifetime friendships made because of this show. Yeah. And for that, that's.
And what about a lingering Star Trek like fervor? Do you see that?
I think
absolutely.
So. I see that for sure. If not of my own self, because I think about my whole repertoire of TV throughout my life. When I've never been affected by a TV show like I've been affected by Buffy, ever. And I've liked and loved a lot of shows over the years, but it's not like this. And I know that I'm going to have my DVDs. I'm going to watch. I watch FX every night. 6 to 7. I'm switching. If I'm not, if the basketball games, I'm switching back and forth or something. But I'm always watching FX. I'm always watching Buffy. I just can't think of a time when I don't want to watch it.
I wonder if the original Trek fans didn't have DVDs. They did not have their show available on demand. Right. They had to sort of form a community in order to seek out the small, little isolated stations across the country that were showing Trek reruns at various times. I wonder if it will increase or decrease the coherence of the community to have it available.
And they also didn't have the internet.
That's what I was going to say.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
It's a community for people to talk.
And they also didn't have the telephone.
They might have had the telephone.
Right? No, they had
or indoor plumbing.
They had that calm thing. Beam me up, Scott.
Yeah. Yeah, they had the
I remember the 19th century episodes of Star Trek were really good.
The one where Spock learned to spin and
when Spock could
remember the butter churning episode?
Oh,
that was
God.
Great.
Yeah.
So I think that was I Love Lucy.
But I do think that this show will live on for a very long time. I don't see how it can't because these episodes are timeless, really. You can watch them. They still hold up. Season 1 episodes hold up now, and they will for a very long time. And it's just going to stay there.
And I know at Cal State Long Beach, where I used to go to school, I was talking to some of the people in one of the departments, and they're going to have a Buffy class.
They are?
Yes. And I was like, what? Wait.
Why didn't they have that when I went there?
Well, you guys can be guest
And I said, I go, because I know who I know the English department, a lot of people in the English department. I'm like, you're going to call me and come in or something, right? And they're going to do this whole Buffy philosophy, kind of like that book that came out. Yeah. They're going to have a Buffy class and can relate to philosophy. And I'm like, oh my God, it's about time.
I've heard some other colleges have done classes like that.
There have been a lot throughout the United States.
I knew there was one about Keanu movies, but I didn't know that.
I heard. See, once you say that, it doesn't seem.
But someone actually brought in, it was analysis of one of the episodes, one of the early ones where Buffy and Cordelia went to that frat party. Reptile Boy. Yeah. And
don't go to frat parties.
And it was reprinted in Harper's or something, and someone brought in a copy, and Josh sort of started to go, geez, you overanalyze anything, you could find meaning in anything, and he read it, he was like, no, that's pretty much what I was trying to do. There's some merit to be found in deconstructing Buffy because it's interesting comparing Buffy with the way other shows are run. That on Buffy the emphasis was always on what is this saying? What does this mean? It has to mean something to Joss before it happens, and it has to be about something. And on other shows, you don't always get that feeling. Yeah. And I think that's what makes Buffy analyzable, and hopefully
if you're trying to figure out what did this mean, what does this mean?
Right.
If the
it's
original
helpful
goal
if it meant something. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, we've all written. I mean, Candy wrote a paper about Buffy. I wrote a paper about Buffy for school. I think so many people out there have used Buffy to get through school or to do something. I wrote a kick-ass Buffy paper. My college professor loved it.
So did mine.
What were your papers about?
Mine was it was called Slayer Speak: The Logic of a Non-Standard Dialect. And I compared Buffy, how the teens speak to like Black English vernacular, and how
the Ebonic,
and just how just because it's not standard English doesn't mean it's not acceptable, and doesn't mean
it doesn't mean it does not have rules.
Yeah.
People think that Black English is just a violation of rules. No, it's a different set of rules that you have to follow just as strictly.
Yes, and just because they might not be saying it all this verbosely or eloquently doesn't mean they don't know exactly what they're saying, and it comes out it's even cooler the way it comes out.
Yeah. Elegance is a completely subjective standard.
So it was fun. It was fun to do that, and I loved doing that paper. It was fun. It was really cool. My professor just loved it. What was yours on?
What was your
feminism? And
feminism.
It was for my women in film class. I was a film major, so it was all for that.
Cool.
So they're up on our website.
Yeah, they are.
Good.
Well, mine was from one of my teacher credential classes for language and not a linguistics class, but it was like language and language acquisition or something like that. And I was like, I'm gonna do Buffy. I'm gonna do something I know. And but it's really. You guys talking about how you read into things and things stand for other things. And when we talk about last night's episode where we saw the weapon.
They can't see your hands.
I know. I know. I always forget that no one can see me. The weapon. And I have to say, because one of, Flipley, who we love, and
one of our listeners,
who's one of our good friends, he was like, who went to lunch? He was at the lunch with
Oh, very good.
Okay. And he was like, he wants to know, he was all, okay, phallic? He was like,
has anyone commented on where they've seen this weapon before?
I saw one thing online that got
You
it.
have seen this weapon before.
Please tell me.
Please tell us.
Well, you may have seen the weapon before if you've
I think
done
we
your.
can assume they've seen the weapon.
I think you're right.
It's Frey's sides. It's the sides that Frey will find in the Frey comic books in the future.
I'm seeing some downcast looks as though people perhaps may not be as familiar with Frey.
Up to date on your Frey comic.
Not up to date with Frey.
Well, let's find right out and get those tonight.
For people who are not aware with it, Joss Whedon created a comic book character named Frey, who is a Slayer some hundreds of years in the future, who finds this weapon, which is supposed to be sort of the ancestral weapon of the Slayers, which is odd because we never saw Buffy wield this.
Yeah.
And now we have.
She alone can wield. And another thing, Bob, when we think about Buffy and this whole, when we talk about even feminism with the whole thing, with Caleb, who hates women or looks like it, I mean, what's going on with Caleb? I mean, is he?
I think you pretty much nailed it.
We have the woman hater, and Flippy wants to know if he was impotent.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
But he is compensating for it's almost certain.
But I mean, I think that's the sort of ultimate arch enemy of a empowered female show is the guy who doesn't take women seriously and sort of wants to destroy the power of women. So
yeah, it is going back to the beginning, right? Because that is exactly what started this whole thing, and Joss wanting to give that blonde girl a voice and a fighting chance, and so now this makes sense that this is her biggest nemesis at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was very important to us that there was some talk that the first might become embodied in the form of Buffy toward the end of the season.
That's what I was thinking. I thought that was going to come up.
And it was decided that, no, it really was important that symbolically she fight a man.
Yeah, and well, it's cool to see Buffy fight Buffy. It wasn't what this was about. It wasn't about Buffy
like what Angel fought Angel.
Right. That was another consideration.
Yeah,
that Angel had fought Angel.
Thematically, Buffy fighting herself might have been more at home in another season, than it would have been in this one. And so, as tempting as that final image might have been of the ultimate Buffy on Buffy fight.
A lot of people would be like, ooh.
Is that like Kennedy and
Hey. Not on.
I'm just trying to keep it light.
Yeah. Trying to go where we shouldn't be going. We do have to take a break. When we come back, I do want to discuss last night's episode, specifically
the mayor.
Well, there's that. There's a lot to discuss about last night.
Going on.
Basically, but I do want to talk about Buffy and her breaking point and what and all that and what got her where she needed to be.
Yes.
And so we'll talk about that when we come back.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Right now, I'm so glad this is my birthday and I get to hear this song. This is also for Chen because she requested 2 songs in a row.
Well, good for her.
This is for Chen, and she says, "May you never quit rockin', ladies. Thanks for the show. People should say this more often to you." And this is Hepburn, I Quit.
There was a time when I would go walking backwards round the world if you said you're mine. And I'd run blindfold down the King's Road Monday morning if you just for once arrive on time. But you turned into another layer, and you came on like a new Messiah. So before you say what you desire, I'm telling you now, I quit. 'Cause loving you's a job I don't need. Ain't gonna go to work no more. I quit. The situation's vacant for me. Ain't gonna go to work no more. Ain't gonna go to work no more. Ain't gonna go to work. I got my hands dirty while you rolled cigarettes with one eye on the time. I tried my hardest, I've been conscientious, but I'm taking back that heart of mine. You can't roll me around your tongue no more, baby. It's time to clear up your emotional debris. And the sun's falling overboard, please don't save me. 'Cause I'm telling you now, I quit. 'Cause loving you's a job I don't need. Ain't gonna go to work no more. I quit. The situation's vacant for me. Ain't gonna go to work no more. Ain't gonna go to work no more. Ain't gonna go to work. Just like every other lover, we shot rings out and you go running for cover. And I'm so sorry I can't be your mother. And I'm telling you now, I quit. 'Cause loving you's a job I don't need. Ain't gonna go to work no more. I quit. The situation's vacant for me. Ain't gonna go to work no more. Ain't gonna go to work no more. Ain't gonna go to work. I quit. Ain't gonna go to work no more. Ain't gonna go to work no more. Ain't gonna go to work.
Ooh, are we back?
You're back.
All right, welcome back
Hi.
to the show. You're listening to
What?
You're listening to KLBC. Okay, but this is the Succubus Club.
Correct.
Okay, I did it backwards. On KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. I'm in underwater again. That was Hepburn doing I Quit. Ethan's like, don't look at me. And that comes from no episode, just comes from the Buffy soundtrack. And that goes out to Chen. Thank you so much for requesting that. If you're just joining us, oh my God, shame on you. It's just after 7 p.m. here on the left coast. I got Jane Espenson. I got Rebecca Rand Kirshner. I got Drew Greenberg.
All
I got
about you.
I got Ethan over there. And I got Candy.
Thanks.
And me. It's my birthday extravaganza show. And just thank you guys for coming on the show. This is so great.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And as you all know, Rebecca is new to our show. So we're great. We're so happy to have her.
I'm like a virgin.
I mean,
really, I'm a virgin.
Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
really.
It's not starting over. We're just keeping going.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought this was take 2.
No, whatever's been said, it's down. And
That whole peeing thing that's just out there in the world now.
it's over. It's gone. And we want to thank everyone for joining us and listening. We're still here hanging out. It's kind of a free for all. We're talking about all kinds of different things.
Going all over the place.
We are going all over the place.
Rebecca's going on.
I am not. Oh, this is very upsetting.
At least try to hit the pretzel jar.
Oh, my
But see,
goodness.
there's nothing for her to go into right now.
True.
No, I'm wearing Depends. Exactly for everyone here.
Meanwhile, David Fury is sitting at home just listening.
Yeah. Oh.
That's why David calls.
He's peeing into an envelope to send
And if you guys missed the big peeing in David Fury's pretzel bag,
That's not a euphemism.
you're just going to have to listen to it later when Joel does MP3, hopefully. But yeah, we're having a great time. We're just saying, we're just talking about all kinds of different things. And if you're into structure, you might as well go somewhere else. So anyway, all right. So Candy, did you have something you were going to
What, you want to talk about the show?
Yeah, let's talk about some kind of show.
Yeah, that Buffy show.
Yeah, Buffy show.
I wanted to
Pretty
talk
good.
about...
I hear it's pretty good. Yeah, how long is it going to be on for now? What is it?
I mean, just got 3 more shows.
Oh, damn.
Two more.
Two more.
I'm in denial. I told you.
Yeah.
I'm not accepting this. I wanted to talk about specifically Buffy last night, and I'm sure a lot of talk has. We don't go to the boards and what people are saying, and so we're not.
Yep.
Can you hear us, Jane?
Yes. It was a little loud. I was just turning down the volume.
And so I have no idea what people are speculating and talking about.
Look at that either. So
We try and stay away from that as much as possible.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to you about Buffy last night and what exactly turned everything around for her. Now, she's been banished from the house somewhat on her own volition, but also because they said, get out! And so she leaves, she's crying, she passes the torch to Faith, and
she looks for Tab.
She just wants a Tab.
right.
So she's pretty much down in the dumps, and Spike comes along and gives her this rah-rah speech, and Talk to us about her mindset right there and what helps her get to the place where she can go and kick Caleb's ass the way she did.
Well, I think essentially she was. I mean, it's all about reconnecting to other people and also to herself. I mean, I think when she's lying on the bed there, she's in an abandoned house in an abandoned town, and she's all by herself and just completely sort of desolate and disconnected. And what Spike does, aside from make a sort of pep talk, is that he connects to her, and I think it was her being able to receive that from him and being affected by him that then allowed her to, I think, it all sounds kind of pop psych, but to reconnect to herself and then in so doing be able to reconnect to the others. So.
Absolutely. It's something I've said all along about her and Spike's relationship is that he's the only one she can be truly authentic with.
Yeah, right.
And last night was a perfect example of him just, I'm not going to lie to you, let's not lie to each other. And that's why I think I always felt that they are close and that they could be close.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what it was, and I think that's what I was really excited about in this episode, was sort of that turning point. I mean, obviously, but also in that Spike was the person to do that. And in terms of storytelling, he's both the least likely person to do that and the most. It's sort of, it's the jester that tells the truth to the king. It's the fool, and that's sort of traditional storytelling, and yet it comes organically. Yeah, yeah.
Pompey. It's straight out Shakespeare.
Yeah. I mean, we ripped it off, yeah.
I also thought it was important for Buffy to know that she's been giving and giving and giving all of these years, and to me it looked like after all of that, this is where she was left, alone in a room after doing so much for so many people, for the world. Yeah. And I got the feeling that it was nice for her to hear that somebody didn't want something from her.
Yeah, that's a good point.
To me, that was like the most beautiful part of what he said, which was, I'm going to love you whether you give me something or not. Because I think that's the most beautiful kind of love, just to know that they're in the world, to know that they're trying, and that what he said, to try. So, I'd love to seeing you try, and I think that was probably huge for her to hear that.
That someone didn't want something back from her. That the superhero has the capacity to do all this stuff. He didn't need her to do anything. She could just be there. The moment for me when I saw it, every time he said, "You're one hell of a woman," or I think that's exactly what it was. But every time I go, "Oh, oh," and I watch it, like a dozen, all doing the sound mix, because that just somehow, maybe that's my fantasy that someone would say that, but that sort of...
Rebecca?
Oh!
He's about to say it.
Oh!
I got something to tell you.
You're insufferable.
Wait a second.
Wow.
That's great. But I wish someone would say that to me.
Well, hey, it was one hell of an episode. And you're one hell of a writer. There you go.
She's going all over the place.
Oh, man. Pee in one pretzel barrel, and they never let you forget it. Jeez.
I think it's going to become a trend.
Oh, yes.
Everybody should do it.
Oh, darling, yes.
But, and the whole thing came full circle, though, because when Buffy said to Spike, "I believe in you," now it's like his turn to go, you know what? Like when he was like, "What are you sitting for? You're not a quitter."
Yeah.
I believe that you. This isn't you.
Yeah.
See, that again, my theory. She just needed a nap.
Yes.
Yep. She just needed a nap.
It's true.
And then the amazing thing is that scene doesn't come off as she needs a man to validate her.
Absolutely.
Which you could say, if you were just sort of explaining what happened, you say, and the man tells her she's great, and then she goes and does it. It's like, no, it's not about. It's it's really interesting to sort of see that scene from inside her, and the fact that you don't even think of that till you look at it later.
I didn't even think of it until you brought it up. I'm like, but it wasn't
that, and which is good, because it means like, oh well, men aren't bad guys. People can tell you that. It doesn't mean that
right. Not everybody's always iconic for everything.
Right. Sometimes a guy's just a blonde vampire.
Right.
What athletic and good looking.
That was great.
Yeah. I thought James was just amazing in that. I mean, both of them were great, and but the levels of humor and stuff that he put in there.
I thought it was important in what you were saying, that it wasn't the man who validated her. I thought it was important to see the second shot, which was her awake, him asleep, showing that she was thinking about everything that he was saying, that it was almost like
you guys really pay attention. No, I mean that was a shot. Honestly,
I would say that's what we get paid to do.
No, honestly, that was a shot when we were over time. We kept thinking, can we take it out? Because it seemed like you went back and forth a bunch of times, and every time we go, no, you can't quite. But
I think that was really important, because
people actually. I should have come to one of these things earlier. I might have appreciated what we were doing.
We told you you'd like.
We can't tell you.
It's scary and far away.
But now it doesn't seem so far away.
No, it actually does still seem far away. 3 hours together.
It was worth it. You got pie.
Totally.
But I sort of cut you off. But I'm glad. I'm so glad that you noticed that. That's terrific.
I just, I think it wouldn't have worked if she went to sleep and all of a sudden she got up and went. It was like in her dream. She probably got the power to do it.
Exactly. But it's also like if she would have gotten up and he would have gotten up with her, he would have insisted on going with her.
Right.
And there's no way he would have.
That wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have worked, and he would have insisted, and they would have gotten this big argument. And
it just basically worked out the right way.
It did, and it was.
But that it was her moment.
Yeah.
I mean, that it wasn't. Yeah, that it was. That we followed her mind and her choice. Yeah.
Will we know the contents of the note eventually that she left?
No, I think we just guessed.
Yeah. No, he says.
Oh, really?
He says the thing, but we don't hear word for word what it was.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's what you think it is.
Okay.
There's no revelation in there.
Okay.
I've gone to save the world.
There's tab in the fridge.
Yeah. There's some tab in the fridge.
Which, by the way, if the world is ending, I'm saying screw the diet soda. I'm going to have the stuff with the sugar.
Exactly.
Well, some people like tab.
She must really like tab. I think this. In fact, if anybody ever questioned if she really likes tab, you could hold this up as evidence.
Yeah, it's not for my diet. I swear. No, at the end of the world.
Or if you really want to read into it, it's her showing how confident she is that she's going to win.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if she's in that place at that moment.
Well, we got to use.
No, but subconsciously, she's drinking tab. She's still thinking about her 90-pound figure.
Exactly, but also subconsciously, I think she does think, because when she was first buying the Uber vamp, she said, I will win. I know that I'm going to win, and that's how I get through every time I have to do this. I know I'm going to win. And this was one of the first times recently that she was like, oh, my God, I don't think I could win. And that was really hard for her.
So heartbreaking.
It was so hard for her because you would see it on her face that, oh, my God, I don't think I can win. And I can't tell these people this. And I have to keep up this facade of okay, we're going to do it. And I got to do my best. But I don't know if we can. And so finally, last night, we finally got to see her. Ta-da! I think I can do it now. Or at least if I can't, that I'm going to go down fighting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was
it's
much
one
more,
hell of a fight.
I'm going to go down fighting. I don't think she's quite at I can do it yet.
Yeah. But I don't have another choice, and here I go.
Yeah, right. And then I'm okay with it, and this is cool, and I'm going to fight, and I love how she was doing her little moves, or her stealthy, avoidance moves, but getting away from that was pissing him off. I love that.
That was a Joss thing.
Yeah, from the beginning. And I really, at first, was like, what? Fighting without touch? I don't understand. And I couldn't quite picture it visually without her looking like she was a chicken or something. And yet it was great. And I think it also worked thematically. If it's all about touch. And the episode was called Touch. So I guess maybe I already came to that conclusion. I'll just back off.
It reminds me of Primeval.
And
her fight with Adam, even with all the powers.
Yes.
Right. Matrix stuff going on.
And it was new. It was something different that we hadn't seen before. And I was like, oh, my God, this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is something new. We've seen so many fights in the past, and this was a really good episode for fights, and as well as not fights.
Well, it was just nice to see her come out on top, frankly.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really since she fought the Ubervamp that she really kicked ass like that.
Yeah, she's been pounded this year.
She's been worked.
Yeah.
It makes a victory
sweeter.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a certain amount as the series goes on of upping the stakes. So the victories have to be bigger, and so do the defeats. And so that's part of what makes shows tend to go either very, very broad as the show gets older, or very, very dark.
Right.
And we I think refrain from going in either direction as far.
And I mean, Buffy's taken so many risks, and last night we had, it was very erotic. Sexually. It was very erotic. And I was like, whoa, it's 8:30.
Yeah.
And I was a little surprised. I kept looking at the clock thinking I'm watching Angel because,
now I didn't actually watch it last night.
Okay.
Did they show the tongue?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because that was requested to be taken out.
Oh, it was in.
I saw the stud and
Joss said just, no, that's in. And,
I was surprised, honestly.
Yeah, and we didn't know. I completely forgot. And we didn't know David Solomon, who directed it. I said, well, what's going to happen if we're airing it and we've been told to take this out? And he goes, I don't know, maybe the screen will be black for a few seconds. And I completely forgot, but it was pushing the boundaries in a way.
It was great.
For your show, yeah.
You forget about it when you're watching. You think, oh, this is right, this is great, this is organic to the story. And then when you put it in the context of like
my students are watching,
with commercials,
my 14-year-old students are watching.
You know what? I will say again, as I've said many times before, like we don't do anything that other shows don't do, and we've seen boys running their tongues along girls for years and years and years on TV, and
but they don't have pierced tongues. I think honestly, a pierced tongue is part of it.
Well, I suppose that's part of it.
I think that is because
I think that it adds I think there's a certain element of sexiness that we're not allowed to show with same-sex couples, and I think think that we add that, like they're having fun with their sexuality, and I think people on some
also
on some
they were that's the sort of it is sex. It's a lot of times when you see sort of the lesbian sex stuff, it's very sentimental.
Yeah.
Look at these nice girls and how sweet they are, and this is like
erotic.
Yeah, which is it's
great.
Sort of it
turns out lesbians like having sex too, and I think that's what you were getting
one
to say.
though. If you did it twice, then they'd like you. Once.
And so Rebecca, from my husband, he says thank you.
Oh yeah.
He was like, yes. It's like it's about time.
Well, there's a line in the series finale that references the other side of the coin. When Buffy makes a mention about Angel and Spike.
Oh yeah.
That coin.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
I like that one.
I haven't been to any of the boards. I have no idea, but I was just wondering how the Willow Tara fans were feeling about last night's episode with with Willow and Kennedy.
I don't like Kennedy. First of all, I never have.
Why don't you like Kennedy?
She liked Nixon.
You've been saving that one all season, haven't you?
I don't know. It's not anything I can really put my finger on. It's just something like I've never really understood Willow's attraction to her, to be quite honest with you. I have a big problem with why Willow likes her.
Well, I think it's a similar problem to Riley. It's the love after the true love. It's the bounce back love. This is not the love of Willow's life, I don't think.
Right.
I think this is Rebound Girl, and she's symbolic of not moving on exactly, but of starting to think about the potential of moving on at some point. And I don't.
And also enjoying life and other people without being soulmates necessarily.
Right.
So,
Enjoying sex. I mean, why can't
I get all that. I just it's a personal
No, I'm not a huge fan of Kennedy either. I think mainly because I just don't like her tone. I mean, I'm just like, and who do you think you are, little missy?
Exactly.
I guess
it's like Rona. I just want to kill Rona too.
I like Rona.
I like Rona.
We're all kind of big Rona fans, actually.
Are you really?
Yeah.
She pissed me off bad.
Yeah.
She's just unusual. I like her. I mean, as a character. I mean, or as a person, I guess she could be an annoying. Not the actress Rona herself. But I think she functioned well as sort of that annoying character.
No, and I know that there had to be one, and I know that it's just a personal thing.
Yeah.
Like she
I get it.
I think that was the point, right? We're not supposed to really like her, right? So,
she has to be a voice of, It's some feelings that we sometimes have, but sometimes we're like, God, shut up, Buffy, listen to us. No, I mean, but from her perspective, you want some of that, and yet. Ultimately, we are on Buffy's side.
We wanted these girls to not fold easily into this household. We wanted them to be an irritant for Buffy. So, in a way, they became irritants for everyone. But that should only help people identify more with Buffy.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what it did for us.
Yeah.
And I will say, you can disagree with me if you want. I don't think...
okay, I've disagreed.
That's very good.
Let's forget it.
Rona didn't say anything that wasn't true. And
but the witch is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
All right, maybe that was a little extreme. That might have been pushing it a little bit. She was very angry. It was very heated.
Yeah.
Before that, when
everybody
she made
needed
her point, everybody needed. Yes, that's good. But Buffy was a little obsessed with Spike, and they, I think that Rona's point was still a good one, even
True and Rona.
I should be so lucky.
I want to talk about Faith and the mayor.
We'll do that when we come back.
Okay, because I got to talk about, because my whole time I'm like, no, Faith, don't listen to him, Faith. He's not really the mayor, Faith. Even if he was, you shouldn't listen to him anyway. I was like, no, come on, no. So I definitely want to talk about that.
Okay.
All right.
We will when we come back.
This is another good song.
What a surprise.
This is for Jasmine. This is from the prom.
Why are you doing your phone sex voice? No, really?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, this isn't the... You want the phone sex voice?
Yeah, go for it.
Here's the phone sex voice.
I'm ready.
This is the Sundays with Wild Horses. Welcome back to the Succubus Club on KLBC.org, your truly underground radio station. It was a Sundays doing Wild Horses from the Prom 3.20, and that was for Jasmine. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I'm Kitty, that's Candy, and I have next to me Jane Espenson, then Rebecca Ann Kirshner wearing her incognito sunglasses.
Yeah, we can't see her.
Where did Rebecca go?
And then we've got Drew Greenberg over there. We also have Ethan eating some pie. Woo! Yay!
Good pie.
Good.
And we're just having a good time. And we're just sitting talking about that show Buffy that we like so much.
Yeah.
That these people wrote for.
Is that just a one?
Wow, that is weird.
That sounded really bad.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Welcome to reality.
Jane Espenson, former Buffy writer.
Oh,
That hurt.
How did that feel though to write the last episode you wrote? How did it feel to turn it into whatever?
I thought I was done. I thought I'd written my last one, and I was
And
really
you wrote 6 more.
I was really upset that I wasn't going to be part of like the final 5. And then when Doug came to me and said, "I want to split this one with you," it was so nice because I really was feeling like. I didn't like the feeling. I was already feeling like the ex-Buffy writer, and everybody else still had writing to do.
Well, that would have been weird for you. I mean, for you of all people, not to be in the top, the last 5. I mean,
it would have felt
that would have been
very
weird.
bad. I was so thrilled that I got to work on that,
Well, I'm
that
glad
last one, that penultimate one.
I'm definitely glad. And obviously, congratulations, you and Drew Goddard with the Conversation with Deaf People. Did it win an award?
Nominated.
It's nominated for
what's it? The Hugo or
no,
something?
it's the Humanitas. I think.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, nice.
I think it's a self-nomination. I think somebody submitted it.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't believe that a show that deals with the occult has any shot of winning a Catholic award. That's a Catholic organization that gives the Humanitas.
Strange.
So I'd find it very odd. So I suspect maybe Drew nominated it or somebody else submitted it for.
He did it. I know he did it because we asked him about it.
Oh.
Conversations with Dead People is nominated in the dramatic presentation short form category for the Hugo Awards, which are given annually to science fiction and fantasy works in film, television, and literary fields. Joss Whedon received nods for Waiting in the Wings, Angel, and Serenity from Firefly. 2 episodes of Enterprise round out the nomination list. The awards will be presented during the TorCon convention in Toronto in August.
So I didn't even know about that. Oh, because I did get a postcard saying that somebody had submitted it for a Humanitas, which is zany. But Hugo.
Yeah, because I have the Hugo.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A cool award.
That and Life, my parents told me, were also nominated for a Sci-Fi Portal Genre Award in the Best Episode category. Cool. The awards are determined by online voting.
The thing about Conversations with Dead People, of course, is that there are 4 segments in that show.
You did Dawn, right?
I did Dawn. Drew did the boys. Joss and Marty each did uncredited segments. Joss being the stuff with Holden and Marty being the Willow stuff. So that's the stuff that really makes that episode is particularly the Buffy Holden, which is Joss.
Wow, modesty from Jane. What the hell is happening?
My world
She is an ex-Buffy writer.
breaking apart.
She's getting ballsy.
No, I mean, Jane normally has a very
I have a healthy
realistic sense of wonderment about her.
I definitely want to talk about Faith with the mayor, because I thought it was so wonderful. When I saw his name in the credits, I was like, oh, this is going to be cool.
It was only a matter of time.
I know. He is just wonderful. And so we have Faith Ian being confronted by the mayor. She's like, get out. She wasn't seeing it. She's like, you know what? I know what you're at. I know that you're not really who you are. But, there was that twinge of you can't trust Buffy. And no one's going to love you. And it looked like for a minute, that Faith, because she's come such a long way, and it looked like maybe for a little while she was maybe believing a little bit. I mean, can you talk a little bit about that? Like what's going on in her head? Or is she buying it? Is this going to be a bad thing for her? Or?
Yeah, but don't spoil it.
No, I think that's the trick of the first. It's like the voice inside your head. I mean, you can say, this isn't real. This isn't, I shouldn't listen to this. And yet, it's speaking to your very fears, as Wood says later, it picks on it finds your Achilles heel.
Yes, absolutely.
And,
what, it does a heel thing?
Yeah,
Was that not the best? That was just fabulous.
She did that
because there was so much drama up until that moment.
Yeah, she's so great. That was such a sort of faith.
Yeah.
But I thought she would know.
No, it was great. It was great.
But yeah, so I think that's essentially what it is. That it's I can't think of a real example of when that happens.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When you think part of your, a sort of paranoia when you're thinking, I shouldn't listen to that. I shouldn't. But is it true? Is this, And
just because it's evil doesn't mean it can't be true. Somebody said
and
that.
And just because it's false, he's not as she sort of confronted him, you're the first, and he said, oh, it doesn't matter.
He made a point to say, I am the mayor also.
I'm evil, and
well, it was important that she asked Wood whether or not the first told him the truth.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I thought that was a really important question to ask because she wasn't going to believe it at all until...
Right.
Well, I love the fact that it was still sort of eating at her. That enough so that she had to ask the question, does it say true things? And it does.
And I also think, all this stuff's going on with Faith, and I think that's really great because having her have to care for these other people, I think is good for her because this is all part of her sort of dealing with becoming the new Faith and sort of leaving the old demons behind and trying to be a good person. But I think it's going to be tough for her because now for what's going to happen perhaps next week, it leaves us with that bomb sitting there.
Literally, yeah.
Right. Now, that was either, which I couldn't decide if they set them up or it was already there and it wouldn't have mattered.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, okay. Did the bringer that they captured?
Yeah.
I mean, basically, he could have set them up and said...
Oh, told them where to go?
Well, pretty much, fed them.
The bringers do have a hive mind, so that's sort of, anything that he would know, all the bringers would know, and that's sort of... I mean,
I first kind of knew that they were going to do that. That's what I thought.
I mean,
we had discussions about this in the room. But
it is part of once that bringer knew where they were going, then all bringers knew where they were going.
So then they could just set them up.
Right.
I will say, just touching on the faith thing.
Yes, let's touch faith.
Let's touch faith. Even I want to touch faith.
Who doesn't want to touch faith?
I think that given, yes, everything that we said before about how, every show has its season and perhaps you recognize when the time has come. If there's anything about the lack of a spinoff that bothers me, it's that I am so interested in Faith's arc. And the growth that she's made is something that I personally find interesting. I liked Faith the way she was season 3. I like Faith the way she is now, too. I loved what she did on Angel. Yeah. I love the fact that she is a character who wants very much to be good and has a hard time doing it. Yeah. And getting to watch that progress might have been fun. And if there's any sadness or bittersweet feeling about, the fact that it is going to end here, I think maybe for me it's tied up in that.
I'm disappointed.
There could be a series of Alienation-like TV movies.
Yes.
That would be
follow
cool.
that up.
That would be cool.
I loved that show, Alienation.
I did too.
I did too. That was a cool show.
Well, we said it.
Funny heads.
Back a couple months ago when it was still kind of, is there going to be a spinoff? Isn't there? Ethan, phone. We said ourselves, we said we weren't really cool with a spinoff, and the only one that we thought it could have worked with was Faith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And really, everybody else, maybe. But we really wanted, if they were going to do one, Faith was the one that we really would have liked to have seen. And it's really a shame that it's not going to happen. But
not right now.
Not right now.
Exactly.
I want to talk about the other characters. Willow, Xander, Giles, Andrew. Let's talk about Andrew.
Okay.
Because I questioned early on, after his general arc was over, and the tears, and he was starting to repent, and what his purpose was, basically. I eventually realized that, his humor was needed, very much so, as the episodes were going on. They were getting, not necessarily dark, but they were, they weren't as lighthearted as...
Sure. And I think there's something to be said about, you have... Usually on TV and in other forms of fiction, once you have your revelation about yourself, the story ends. Yeah. In life, you have this revelation about yourself. Oh, I do this bad thing, and it's destructive to me and those around me. Now I have to live every day.
Yeah, you don't just disappear then.
You don't just disappear. Exactly. And what we've seen is this guy who has said, I know I'm not going to live through this fight. I know I'm going to die in this fight. And now we have to see him live these days up to that fight without his normal defenses of his storytelling to protect him. And he's like when lobsters are mating and they rip the shells off each other and then they're just floppy little pink delicious lobster creatures out in the ocean. He's like that. His shell has been ripped off.
Delicious lobster.
You want to eat Andrew with butter? What?
Oh my God. I'm just saying he's very vulnerable.
Oh, that's what she's saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
that's where she was going with this.
But
She's hungry.
and lobsters don't have their shells on. One
They're
lobster has to
delicious.
protect the other lobster from everything out there because
Aren't
they are
they
so
dead?
delicious. No. No.
They can live without their
The
shell?
female lobster can live without her shell. The male
Oh, but
lobster
the guy
protects
dies.
her. He protects her
Oh, okay.
with his big shiny red claws, and to keep everything from eating her because everybody likes to eat lobster, including other sea creatures. So he protects her till her shell grows back.
Jews.
Well, yes, we abhor
little
the
tape.
lobster.
Wait, are you in Jew Crew?
I am.
Me too.
Oh, congratulations.
Jew Crew.
Rock. I, however, do eat lobster, so
It's
I have
delicious.
lobster.
yeah, okay.
Pretty good.
All of you at home, don't ever say we didn't teach you anything. You just learned something very valuable.
Wait, so you're
About
saying
Jews and lobster.
Tom Lank is Trafe? I don't understand.
I'm just saying he's very vulnerable and he's living undefended. Right now.
He's another person for us, I think, to connect to. I think another important thing about him is a lot of these people. I mean, Anya's a comic relief character, Xander, as well as a fleshed out character, and Xander too can use that, be that function. But they've gone through so much that in a sense their lobster shells have grown. And Andrew is somebody for us to identify, for the audience to connect to, coming in and saying, what if we were in this situation?
Right.
God, I can think of all these things to say. It's like unbelievable.
Isn't it
See, I
great?
knew you'd like this.
You should stay up for 72 hours at a time.
I want to talk about Anya really quickly. And this season after Helpless, there wasn't as much with her as maybe in previous seasons. Can you talk about Anya in this season and what was decided about her? I mean, was there just nothing left to do with her, or what?
Gosh, I remember that we talked about how she was doing a really good job into last year, and it was we're going to do a lot of Anya, and then we did our big Anya thing, and I think it was just that we gave her a whole episode, which is
she learned her lesson and then she disappeared. Oh, I know. It's interesting. I mean, I guess we found out, unfortunately, that part of it was that she was tied to us through Xander, and she might have been like, sort of one of those friends in life that you find out is sort of connected through a relationship, but then when that relationship goes, that person sort of drifts away from you a little bit. But I still, I love her.
We still need her there.
And I think Emma's just the funniest person.
I guess it's the drawback to having your big spotlight episode early in the season.
Like Xander with The Replacement.
The Replacement, exactly. Yeah. It was like, woohoo, it's going to be a big Xander year. He's got a whole episode, and it's like episode 3 or whatever.
Yeah, it was
3. And then you're like, oh, but now he's dealt with.
Then he lost an eye.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
And we keep having to see it in the previews.
Oh, I know.
I had to make my mom when we were watching. I was home for episode 19, and I was watching it with my parents, and my mom specifically didn't watch the end of the previous episode, and I forgot to warn her about the recap at the beginning of my episode, and I had to be. She went, ah! My mom actually shuddered.
You cringe. I mean, really.
Yeah.
I did. I put my knees up to my. I was like, ah!
He did a really realistic scream. I mean, his cry was like.
It was really nice.
I love Xander funny, but I love Xander in pain maybe even more. When I got to beat him up in Older and Far Away, that was fun. It was good.
You're mean.
Mickey plays it so well. He's so good at being vulnerable and heroic at the same time.
We don't see it a lot, so when we do, it's just this wonderful thing.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He's more like a crab without a shell. Or like a scallop.
With the scallops?
She's so hungry. She's had her pie, and now she's ready for her protein.
Well, we're going to take our last break, and when we come back...
Oh, my God.
No, we have to keep them here longer. We haven't said enough.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
We'll see if we can shame them to the sea.
When we come back, we'll give the floor to them. See what they want to talk about.
Oh, good.
Is that good?
Yes.
Sure.
Jane likes the carpet.
Yeah, we want to hear maybe what you guys hope, how you feel about the end of the season, and are you happy with it,
or just whatever you want.
Anything you guys want.
More
to talk
peeing
about?
stories, welcome.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Whatever.
All right. This is straight hot off the internet illegally.
Illegally downloaded,
hot off the internet. From last night's episode, that was Rebecca's episode. For those of you paying attention,
Great.
she is a remarkable woman.
You're one hell of a woman.
Yes, you're one hell of a woman. This is Heather Nova, and either it's called It's Only Love or Only Love. Whatever it is, we got it. Heather Nova, here it is. from last night's episode, Touched. It's Only Love. Or Only Love. I don't know. Whatever it's called, there it is.
I thought
Heather
that was a nice
Nova.
moment. I thought that worked really well last night.
I thought the montage was great.
Yeah.
That song, here's another interesting tidbit for you. That song, we didn't know if we had the right to. The original song we had over that montage was by, I don't even know who it was, but it was by
Sarah McLachlan?
a Christian singer woman who decided.
Amy Grant?
No, not
There's more
not
than one?
somebody I knew. Anyway, some Christian woman who decided that she did not want, when we went to get approval, she did not want it over the sex montage and the, you know.
Go figure.
And so, but this is like final hour, so we'd like, I guess it was Friday, we had to find stuff that went over that montage and couldn't, it was like 6 o'clock Friday evening and couldn't get rights to anything, and by Monday it had to be like on its way to Canada. It was very exciting. It was like, and then it worked out, and Heather Nova
Very cool.
agreed, so it's great.
Yeah, and by the way, listen to Succubus Club on KLBC.org.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I got to do the legal ID. You're a truly underground radio station. It is 6:45 to 7 here on the West Coast. That's wrong.
7?
Quarter to 8.
Quarter to 8.
Oh,
Quarter to 8.
Oh, I thought I just lost my mind.
You're like,
That may
no,
not
God.
We wanted to open up this segment to the writers to say whatever they want to say.
Yeah, whatever they want to talk about.
Without cussing,
Yeah,
you know.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Basically open the floor.
I got nothing.
Me and Drew got our cuts last week. And
And he just kept doing it, too.
he felt good.
That's typical.
But I want to start off with this. Are you guys happy with how Buffy has ended? Without giving anything away. You guys happy?
Jane will handle that.
Are you happy as a fan, as a writer, what?
Or maybe different as each? Happy as a fan, not happy as a writer, vice versa?
I think Drew Greenberg needs to answer. No, I'm very happy as a fan and a writer. When we read the outline and subsequently the script for the final episode, many of us cried.
To cry at an outline.
That would be Drew.
I was crying also, but it was just coincidental.
you just saw another pretzel barrel, and you're like, wait, I can't wait.
I think
I'll fill this one with tears.
You know, just knowing those early stages, just reading Joss's outline, I think we could all tell that this is going to be a finale that echoes the pilot, that ties things up, that pays things off, that breaks your heart and is bloody and romantic and inevitable.
It's all it's all those things. We all read the outline together. We were sitting in Jane's office reading it, and I never cry at stuff, and no, shut up. Except when Rebecca makes fun of me, then I cry.
You're just removed.
Yeah, I did. I really don't cry at movies or at TV. Except things that Rebecca writes. I have no soul. I got a little misty reading the outline, just the outline. I got a little misty, and we all sort of like teared up a little bit, I think. I put the thing down, I collected myself, I walked outside, out into the bullpen, and somebody asked me a question about episode 22. Just asked me a question about the episode, and I started crying again. And it just got me. The outline, the script, really, really.
Yeah, it's a beautiful script.
If you guys cried, I'm just gonna.
I want to cry now.
I'm supposed to come in the next night and talk about it. I don't think so.
It's also surprisingly funny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good sharp humor.
That's Joss Whedon.
It's Joss Whedon.
So Jane, anything on your mind?
You know what I wanted to do? I want to do a little shameless, not quite self-promotion, but
shout out to myself.
This is young Mr. Danny Strong, who has been on our show from the very, very beginning, has a movie in theaters right now called New Suit for people in LA and New York. It is playing at 5 theaters, like 3 in LA and 2 in New York. So look for them and look for Danny Strong in New Suit because he's fantastic.
Nice.
And speaking of shamelessly promoting yourself, can you tell us where you're going next?
I am going to the Gilmore Girls spin-off, if such a show happens. If it does not, I will be on the Gilmore Girls proper. Very cool. Writing for Rory and Lorelai. So look for their brand of humor to be coming out of my fingers.
Cool.
Very
the visual to that was just.
We'll be able to get more episodes.
Right. Oh, and I've also written an episode as in a freelance basis for a show called The OC, which stands for Orange County, which will be premiering on Fox early.
Orange County girl, right?
It will be premiering in June or July on Fox. So look for an episode.
Keep us posted so we'll keep the listeners posted for sure. Absolutely.
There was something that you did mention. We'll get to you guys in just a second. Something that you mentioned at the luncheon when we had lunch with you was that a lot of people were asking you about the parallels between what's happening on Buffy and what's happening in the world today.
politics.
And you wanted us to kind of let
That's
people
right.
know about that.
Yeah.
I want to put you to put it in your own words. Go ahead.
We ended up with an unintentional parallel with world situations in which Buffy became isolated from her traditional allies and only the British character stood by her side as she was advocating to going to war and the rest of the world stood against her. We did not intend Buffy to stand for Mr. W. This was,
And Spike is 20 bucks.
that was never our intention. This was all planned before world situations laid out the way they did. But it'd be such
And we asked if that would change so that there wouldn't be a conflict. We weren't going to change, but if the world would,
but
that would have been better.
We ended up feeling very bad that the show actually looked like it was making a case for war, which we personally, these in this room, were not in favor of war and in general, and did not want the show misinterpreted that way.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted you to get that. I know a lot of people were wondering.
Right, yeah, because it was fairly striking, and yet just the way things fell together.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I mean, coming to the end of Buffy and your time at the show and just what it all means to you and anything you want to talk about that maybe we haven't brought up yet.
Somewhere. Somewhere.
I had to listen to road songs all the way down here. Now you get to share my joy.
I know I don't really have anything to say. Okay.
Yeah, that's a first, by the way.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm interviewing a zillion pilots, and some of them are exciting, and some of them are dreadful, and we'll see where I
absolutely dreadful.
My standards are pretty high after coming off this show, so
I imagine
it's hard
it would
to
be.
find. It's hard to find something, but there's some pretty great things out there, and hopefully we'll be doing some of that. And it's been great, and I got to get to know these nerds, and I love
cool
them.
nerds.
They're really cool nerds.
You've never called us cool nerds before.
Because there are other people here.
Oh wait, speaking of absolutely dreadful, someone. Oh, is our email not up?
What?
Oh, never mind.
What are you
I was going to
talking
say, email us the results for American Idol.
Oh, American Idol. Somebody
no.
I really need to.
We always get East Coast people. East Coast people, email or call us with American Idol's update. Thank you.
Vote Clay. Everybody vote Clay.
Clay.
We like Clay.
Clay.
All right.
Rebecca's like silent over there.
Well, I've read some good books recently, everyone.
Clay is fantastic. TV thing.
I've read some good books too.
I'm going to write a book about Clay Aiken, and then you can read about it.
Oh, terrific.
I'm reading a good book now.
What's
it's
that?
not about
What
Clay
book?
Aiken. It's called Ahab's Wife.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that.
And it's so cool. It's bizarre. It's about this girl who goes. I no one wants to hear this. Sorry,
We'll look it up.
Tell them later.
We'll talk about it later.
Drew?
I want to know.
I'll tell you later. Because right now everyone's like, "Shut up, kitty."
I know.
Nobody cares. Okay.
No, but Drew, do you have, anything you want to talk about? Final thoughts?
Final thoughts? I don't know. It's been quite a ride, really. I mean, it's been a good 2 years professionally, but it's been a wonderful 2 years personally for me. It really is true that we're losing something that affects our personal lives. This is my family, and
God.
I know.
I think I'm gonna cry.
It worked.
Me too.
But we talk about we'll get together, we'll have dinners, but it's something about being in a room, working on a project, spending every day together, seeing each other exhausted and grumpy and angry.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And you don't even have to talk. I mean, sometimes we'd lie on the couch, we'd be reading something, or it's not like you're being social.
Right.
It's like it is family. It's people that you like, sort of despite yourself. I mean, no.
Despite your better judgment.
There are people in our group who we would not normally have come into each other's paths, and this fantastic job at this amazing place brought us all together.
Yeah.
And now Jane and my brother go on dates.
Yeah.
Jane goes out on lots of dates.
Oh!
Well, gee.
That sounds weird. I, meanwhile, don't have enough dates.
No, everybody sign up to date Drew.
I know someone that will take.
Oh.
It's not me. I'm just saying. My husband's like, "Hey, just stop it." We'll talk later.
All right, we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk.
my.
Yeah, all right, that'll be good to know. I mean,
Deteriorated.
I know it has.
I know who it is.
You know who it is.
I know who you're talking about. Is that all you had to say?
I have tons of rants. I have tons of things.
The last thing you want to say as official Buffy writer is, I need a date.
That can't be right. You know what, I've got
Talk us through the television community.
There's
I want to hear your rant.
there are things that I've thought about that I've never had. I'm spreading out. You guys can't see it, but I'm taking up my space. Now I'm closing up. It's just embarrassing.
Are you wearing the red shoes?
I'm wearing the red shoes right here.
Famous red shoes.
You know what? Here's the rant. I don't want to open up old wounds, but
you will.
But I will.
Nothing wrong with picking up Dead Tara.
Well, there was a reaction to the Dead Tara thing that upset me so greatly, and because the reason why was because they took something that's been a plague upon the gay community for
a plague on both your houses.
Yes, and also the gay community. They took the idea of the dead lesbian cliche and they turned it. Some people turned it into something that they could use against us. When in fact, what we did was subvert the cliche. The idea is that women who have always been portrayed in movies as hopeless and desperate and lonely
and sort of disposable to society.
Exactly. The only way out for them was to die, and that made everything okay. It made them feel better, and it made society feel better, and that was the point of those characters. And what we did was we took a character and we gave her strength and humor and love and really a sense of community and family, and we got people we think to love her, and then we pulled her away so that you felt her lack. Not when she was done you felt relief, but when she was done you felt angry and sad. And it was really important to us to.
And that's drama. I mean, that's
exactly. And the fact that people got upset about that, and what really bothered me most about this was that the so-called gay press.
So cool. Some of the press is just claiming to be gay.
You get so much more cred that way. They did articles and stories, and we have as far as I know, one gay writer on the Buffy staff. And
as far as you know, wait, some of us are lying. Who's that?
I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak for the rest of you.
Secretly goes on to girly girls.
I don't want to speak.
I think we're talking about Doug here.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. I get that.
Right.
No, I am. As far as I know, I am. All I'm saying is, I think
she.
Yeah, I think Doug's wife would.
Well, they have a baby, but she knows it.
Modern medicine can do wonderful.
Let's go back down.
Okay, but wait, I had a thing I wanted to say about the dead gay character.
It's not done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gay press.
I am, as far as I know, the only gay writer on the Buffy staff, and nobody made any effort to come and find me. Nobody, the Advocate out. Freaking Girlfriends magazine did all these rants against us, and no one. I would think that you're talking about the subject. A gay writer's perspective, who is in the room, would be invaluable to that kind of story.
You did not get famous off Tara's death.
Exactly, and that is offensive to me.
That was his rant. That's what it's all about.
That's exactly right. Where's my press?
Yeah.
No, but I'm curious about that as well. Why didn't they come talk to you?
I really don't understand why. It would seem to me if you were doing a fully thought out piece on what this meant, instead of
how would they know you were gay?
It's not a secret. And
they also could have sought me out because I wrote on Ellen. Seems like I would be a natural person to talk to, and I could have told them. I could have said Drew Greenberg's gay.
Exactly.
Pointed them in that direction.
And I also do know that somebody did let them know. They do know that I'm here.
Boy, chickens.
So that's what I think.
But
you're a gay man. I didn't want to know from your perspective. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
He's allegedly a man.
So-called gay man.
Definitely gay.
What were you going to say?
I haven't thought this through, but I was just driving along today, and I was thinking about the notion of the noble savage and how that showed up in various portrayals of various minorities through the years. And I was going, maybe this is a stage that various groups go through as they are dramatized, as the groups become integrated into mainstream or whatever. Right. And I was like, maybe the death of Tara signals the coming out. The ending of the noble savage period for the lesbian. It's like we're
Oh, nice.
That is
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, it's sort of
Why didn't we start this conversation earlier?
Because the sort of notion that the character is so emblematic that they can do no wrong because they're representing this group that we want to elevate in some way, and it's like the fact that we treated Tara like any other character is a step in the right position. Well,
I still think of Drew as a noble savage.
That's the first time you've called me noble.
Hey.
Not a savage. She's called you savage before.
That's come up before.
That's for a whole other show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's 8:00.
No.
Oh,
No. There's got to be more.
Well, you guys were late. It's your fault.
Yeah.
They owe us 15 more minutes.
Exactly. Unfortunately, we have another show coming on and should be starting now.
Well, they wouldn't mind waiting.
We couldn't kick him off.
No. Sorry.
Oh, man.
But thank you all so much.
I know.
Jane Espenson.
Yay.
Rebecca and Kirshner first time here.
Yay.
Andrew Z. Greenberg.
Yay.
Thank you all for coming. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you for having me.
This was really fun. I'm like surprised. I was kind of scared.
Yeah.
You are all welcome
and it
to
was
come
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So glad you guys did good. I'm so glad that for your first time you had a great time, and that's what we strive for. We just hope everyone has a good time, and we hope that you guys all enjoyed listening.
You know what? You guys do a really good job, and I think
Yeah.
we should say this now as we come to the end of our thing. Thank
Shout
you,
out
thanks to you
to
guys for really doing a nice professional job here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And also thank you for the pie.
Yeah.
Well, the fact of the matter is we love Buffy, and no matter how critical we can be at times, it never gets in the way of the fact that this is an amazing show, and we love these characters, and I'm going to honor the people who brought it to me. I'm not going to put them down because they gave me something that I wasn't going to have otherwise, so I don't see the point.
Absolutely.
I'm coming down on you guys.
And I love the show so much. It's just been a big part of my life. And I remember the first time when we sort of bumped into Jane at the PBP a few years ago, and she was one of our first writers to come on the show. And after she came on the show the first time, we were like, oh my God.
Then the floodgates opened.
We were like,
they're like, Jane came? Okay, I'm there.
but it's also, all of a sudden we realized, it's the writers that we want.
Yeah.
We want the writers on the
those
show.
actors.
It's the people that really make it happen, and we just love having you guys on and just being able to talk about the show and what's going on and what you were thinking and what they were thinking, and it just makes such for I'm getting book club. I just keep saying over and over again, we love Buffy so much, and you guys have done so much to help us love it and brought so much to our lives and just so much joy through the show. And we thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We're sorry it's gonna end.
We love Buffy too.
Yes, we do.
We're fans too.
Yeah.
Okay, next week, what do we got?
Well, next week we'll be talking about End of Days.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
No, unfortunately, no. Next week is our Angel show.
Oh, next week is the Angel show. Oh,
Are you okay? Are you okay over there?
No,
we're saving the last two Buffy episodes
That's right.
for our fun for the 21st.
That's right. You're right.
Next week-
Next week is our Angel wrap up, and we have David Fury coming on the show, and possibly he said he would drag Tim Minear with him.
Ooh.
So we'll see what happens
Make
there.
sure to offer him a jar of pretzels.
I think with some Gatorade in it, maybe.
So that's next week. So next week it is our Angel show. I'm so I'm so wrapped up wanting to deal with Buffy.
I know, and it's going to be hard, but we'll do that. The week after that is the Buffy finale, and we'll be talking about the last two episodes. So we have a big couple of weeks coming up, and we hope you all tune in for that.
Absolutely. So thanks so much for joining us. I want to thank our special guest.
Happy
one more
birthday
time for coming. Oh, thank you,
Kitty.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. And just again, thanks you guys for coming in and everyone for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. And any last words before I sign off? Anyone?
Anybody?
See Danny Strong's movie.
That's how we're going out?
Drew needs a date.
And maybe also some more pumpkin pie.
Right on.
There you go. That sums it up.
All right, you guys. All right, take care, everyone. We'll see you guys next week with David Fury and maybe Drew Greenberg. No,
You're coming back. Hang out here.
And maybe Tim Minear. We love you guys so much. Take care, and remember, kids, the vampires can't come in if you don't invite them.